Imagine leading your team to a Super Bowl only to have your entire leadership style ripped apart in the media just months later. Inside the NovaCare complex, the air is thick with tension as reports circulate that the franchise face might be losing the locker room. This isn't just noise, it is a direct challenge to the culture Nick Sirianni and Howie Roseman have built. While fans see the highlights, the front office is dealing with a viral firestorm that threatens to derail the upcoming season. Can the Philadelphia Eagles survive this internal fracture before training camp even begins today? Jalen Hurts is currently standing at a massive crossroads in Philadelphia, as a wave of reports has surfaced questioning his specific leadership style and his actual role in the offensive collapse we all witnessed late last season. It is rare to see a franchise quarterback of his caliber publicly scrutinized like this, especially when he has already led the team to the brink of a championship. The criticism went viral, suggesting a disconnect between the quarterback and the locker room, putting his ability to lead under a microscope during a crucial transition period for the offense. However, the organization isn't staying silent. Howie Roseman, the Eagles' general manager, stepped up to the podium during a pre-draft media session to launch an incredibly adamant defense of his star player, calling the recent articles unfair and unfortunate. Roseman made it very clear that the team intends to handle any internal issues directly with the players rather than hiding behind reports. This public backing from the top of the organization, including owner Jeffrey Lurie, shows that the team is trying to circle the wagons around their $51 million man. But despite this support, the numbers tell a more complicated story about his performance on the field. While Jalen was phenomenal inside the pocket last year, finishing fourth in the NFL with a 104.2 passer rating, his efficiency dropped significantly when forced to make plays on the move. The front office knows that for the Eagles to return to dominance, their franchise leader must adapt to a new scheme while silencing the doubters who say he has lost the locker room. There is a sense that while the team is defending him today, the leash might be shorter than anyone wants to admit. The Eagles are admitting they have faults in communication, but they are promising to be more direct and honest moving forward to prevent these leaks from destroying the team's chemistry. Is this defense a genuine vote of confidence, or is it a calculated move to protect a massive investment that is suddenly looking more volatile than ever? The reality of his contract situation means this season is the final year of high-level guaranteed money, which changes the entire conversation about his long-term safety in the city of brotherly love. But what exactly did Howie Roseman say that has everyone in the league talking right now? Do you think Jalen Hurts has what it takes to reclaim his status as the undisputed leader of this Philadelphia Eagles locker room, or is the smoke regarding his leadership a sign of a much deeper fire? We are digging into the internal documents and source reports to bring you the truth about this team. If you want to stay ahead of every roster move and locker room update, you need to subscribe to the channel right now and hit that like button. Your support helps us keep the insider coverage coming every single day. Do not miss out. Howie Roseman is not a man who usually gets emotional at the podium, but his defense of Jalen Hurts this week felt different. He was sharp, direct, and clearly frustrated with the narrative surrounding his quarterback. Roseman knows that the optics of a leadership crisis can be devastating for a team trying to integrate new offensive pieces and a new coordinator. He emphasized that the articles written were a product of what sells in the media, rather than a reflection of the reality inside the building. But as an insider, I can tell you that when there is this much smoke, there is usually at least a small ember of truth. The front office admitted they have not been perfect in their communication, which is a rare admission of guilt from a front office as calculated as Philadelphia's. They are vowing to fix the way they talk to their players to ensure everyone is on the same page. This suggests that some of the frustration Jalen felt last year was due to a lack of clarity from the coaching staff. Roseman is essentially shielding his quarterback from the media while simultaneously sending a message to the rest of the team that the leadership issues will be handled internally. This is a high-stakes gamble. If Jalen responds and the offense clicks, Roseman looks like a genius who protected his star. If the struggles continue, the blame will shift back to the front office for not addressing the leadership vacuum sooner. The stats show Jalen is elite in the pocket, throwing 20 touchdowns to only 4 interceptions. But his completion percentage outside the pocket was ranked 20th in the league. This is where the tension lies. The Eagles need Jalen to be more than just a stats leader. They need him to be the emotional heartbeat of the team again. Howie is betting the house that Jalen can be that guy, but the pressure has never been higher. The transition to a new offense is supposed to help, but it also removes any remaining excuses for poor performance. The front office is watching his every move, analyzing whether he can handle the weight of a $50 million salary while being the target of national scrutiny. This isn't just about football anymore. It is about the very identity of the Philadelphia Eagles under the Roseman era. The question remains whether the locker room will follow Jalen when things get tough in November. The impact of these reports on the Eagles roster cannot be understated as we look toward the future of this franchise. When your quarterback's leadership is questioned, it ripples through every meeting room and every practice session. Nick Sirianni is now tasked with managing a locker room that has heard the outside noise and is waiting to see how their leader responds. The front office's decision to publicly back Jalen Hurts is a strategic move to stabilize the ship. But the reality is that the NFL is a production-based business. If the win percentage, which currently stands at a very impressive .695 with Jalen as the starter, begins to slip, the leadership questions will return with even more intensity. Looking ahead, the Eagles have a massive financial commitment to Jalen, with $51 million guaranteed this year. However, that number drops significantly by 2027, meaning the team has a window of about 2 to 3 seasons to decide if he is truly the long-term answer or if they need to pivot. The future of the Eagles depends on Jalen improving his outside-the-pocket passing and his decision-making on first down, where he currently ranks 16th in the league. The front office is already looking at ways to improve the run game and reduce negative plays to take the pressure off his shoulders. They are trying to create an environment where he doesn't have to carry the entire world on his back. However, the expectations in Philadelphia are always Super Bowl or bust. The impact of this offseason drama will be seen in how the team handles adversity in the first month of the season. If they start fast, the leadership reports will be forgotten. If they struggle, the narrative will become a self-fulfilling prophecy. The roster is talented enough to win it all, but the chemistry between the quarterback and his teammates is the X factor that no statistic can fully capture. Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie have made their stance clear today, but the NFL landscape changes fast. The next few months will determine if the Eagles are building a dynasty or if they are on the verge of a massive organizational shift. Every move from here on out, from the draft to free agency adjustments, will be made with Jalen's development and the team's internal culture in mind, ensuring they don't repeat the mistakes of last season's late collapse. What we are seeing right now is a defining moment for the Philadelphia Eagles and the legacy of Jalen Hurts. It is not just about the touchdowns or the passer ratings anymore. It is about whether a young star can weather a storm of criticism and emerge as a true veteran leader. The meaning of this controversy goes beyond the headlines. It is a test of the Eagles' organizational culture and their ability to protect their most valuable asset while demanding excellence. The team has shown they are willing to admit their faults and fight for their quarterback, which is a sign of a strong foundation. But in the end, the grass at Lincoln Financial Field only cares about results. For the fans, this is a season of high stakes and even higher emotions. You are either with Jalen or you are questioning the path forward. This team could do much worse than a quarterback who has already shown he can win at the highest level, and the front office knows it. The challenge is now on Jalen's shoulders to prove that the reports were indeed unfair, and that he is the man to lead Philadelphia back to the mountaintop. The pressure is immense, the money is historic, and the spotlight is blinding. We will be here to cover every single twist in this saga as the season unfolds. Do you think the media is being too hard on Jalen, or is there a real reason to be concerned about the leadership in that locker room? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below because we want to hear from the real fans who live and breathe Eagles football. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel and have liked this video so you never miss a breaking update from inside the building. We are your #1 source for everything Philadelphia Eagles, and we are just getting started. This season is going to be a wild ride, and you won't want to miss a second of our expert analysis. Stay tuned for our next deep dive into the roster changes. Fly Eagles fly, and we will see you in the next one for more exclusive insider news. The truth is coming out, and you heard it here first. Until next time, keep your eyes on the birds and stay locked in for the latest.